78 Sports TV here. Salute to the mighty LDBC. Smash the like button and hit the subscribe. Turn on your notification bell to be notified when I drop a new video. And if you're digging the video, go ahead and share this joint. Y'all excuse my dirty windshield. Gotta go to the car wash a little later, but I did want to come on here and address Stephen A. Smith, man. So you all know that Molly Qerim, the host of ESPN First Take, has abruptly quit her job, and I guess she's still under contract to get paid, I guess, to the end of the year. I'm not sure exactly how that worked, but she quit. You know what I'm saying? She like, forget this. Now, she was in a contract negotiation situation. So when I did my video, I said, hey, I don't know exactly why she left. I don't know if they lowballed her. She felt like she deserved more money, or if she has a better offer somewhere else, or if it was some internal things going on with Stephen A. or somebody else she didn't, whatever. So Stephen A. Smith responds on his show like he always does, right? And this got to be a grade A, I'm talking about just horrible person, Stephen A. Smith, man. This guy, the same thing with Shannon Sharpe. Every single time something happens, this dude comes out and pledges his allegiance to his ESPN and Disney bosses. Every single time, bro. So this is what the guy says in a very sneaky, cowardly way, right? He starts the video off, yeah, so, we're going to talk about Molly, and she's a friend, and I want her to know that she can, she'll be missed, and this and that, right? All the little fake stuff in the beginning, right? Then he says he doesn't know why she abruptly quit. He said he can guess, right? He has his ideas, but he don't know why. Okay, first of all, the fact that you don't know why tells me tells me she has an issue with you as well. The fact that this is a woman who you sat beside for 10 years, but she didn't give you a phone call to say, hey, Stephen A., I ain't coming back, man. That contract is horrible, whatever, The fact that she didn't do that tells me that you're a part of the problem, okay? I've been around this earth long enough to know that if you around somebody for that long, then y'all have to be either just plain co-workers or friends. And if you're just plain co-workers, you ain't gonna know why somebody quit their job. If you're just a co-worker, if somebody feel like they can't trust you. Now, if you are a friend, you would know. Because the first thing you do when you quit your job is hop on the phone with your guys that still work there. Yeah, man, yeah, you know how to slap Johnny. Yeah, dude got in my face, man. I'm tired of it, man. I had to slap him. I ain't finna put up with this mess, man. You know how that go. That's what you do. Now, it's gonna be other people who are just your co-workers who you don't talk to. So anyway, let's get to it. Stephen A. Smith says that this is what he says. After all that good butter up stuff he said about Molly, then he says, okay, now this I'm gonna piggyback onto another topic, but this got nothing to do with Molly, right? Which means it has everything to do with Molly. He's just too much of a coward to say it directly to her. So this man says, a lot of people think they can do this business. A lot of people think they can go through life stress-free. They can go through you can't. See, I got bosses. See, Steve such and such is my boss. Jerry such and such is my boss. Michael such and such is my boss. And I told y'all before, and I'm gonna tell you again, when I wake up in the morning, my first thought is, how do I make my bosses more money? And how do I get some of it? How do I make my bosses more money? And how do I get some of it? See, you got people, everybody's popping up with these podcasts, and everybody's doing this. I'm paraphrasing. He's like, everybody get the podcast, and everybody wants to be a part of this industry. You think you can do this, but you can't. You can't be Stephen A. Smith. You can't wake up in the morning to be Stephen A. Smith. Then he says this. So he sneaked this in Molly, just telling her, basically calling her weak, right? But then he say, this chick, he's like, so look, he said, I got my big deal. And the reason why I was talking the way I was talking is because I knew I had leverage. I had leverage against a leverage for my contract. You can't do that unless you got leverage, right? You can't go up in there telling people, telling the bosses what you want and this and that if you ain't got no leverage. Well, Stephen A., maybe she thought her leverage was the fact that you were there. Maybe you, who it's your show, maybe you would fight for it. Maybe you would say, hey, you know, Molly, she been here for 10 years looking beautiful every day, you know what I'm saying, being eye candy. Maybe we could give Molly a few extra $100,000 a year so she can, you know what I'm saying, start planning her retirement and stuff like that. Let's give her another $250,000 and something like that. Maybe she thought you was going to be there for her, you know what I'm saying? But that's how busters do. So Stephen A., he talking crazy, and I had to turn it off, bro. I turned it off at the 14-minute mark. I couldn't listen to no more of it. Like, this way these dudes sneak this, and the cowardly way of doing it, to act like you're not doing it when everybody knows you are, it's weak. It's weak sauce, bro. So check this out. All right. Now that's like what he doing when, oh, this ain't got nothing to do with this person, blah blah. Now that's like saying, all right, if one of my homies on YouTube, all right, one of my homies on YouTube decide they ain't doing YouTube no more, right? And they announced their retirement from the internet, social media in general. They chilling, right? They got other stuff to do in their life, right? And then I make a video and I'm like, look, man, shout out to my boy, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna think of somebody. Okay, let me use Trill Will. So let's say Trill Will say he done with social media, he finna go do something else, right? And then I say, yeah, man, shout out to my boy Trill Will, man. Trill Will, that's my guy, you know what I'm saying? And you know what I mean, blah blah blah. You know what I mean? He gonna be missed and stuff like that. You can call me whenever you need to call me, bro. And then I go on, I say, hey, but now this part here ain't got nothing to do with Trill Will. Let me tell you something, man. There's a lot of weak people on here, man. Just be thinking they can just make YouTube videos, thinking it's easy, thinking they can beat 78. You can't beat me. You know what I'm saying? Can't beat 78. Look here, man. It's hard work. It's dedication. I had to put in many hours with no sleep, staying up late watching the fights. You know what I'm saying? You know, you can't do what I do, baby. Now, if I start, bro, that's common sense. That's a sneak diss, bro. Like, what in the world is Stephen A. Smith doing? This man got no loyalty whatsoever to nobody, except for his bosses. Now, he loved his massa. Now, don't get me wrong. Stephen A. Smith loved him some massa. Y'all gotta forgive this sunlight, this glare. I'm riding around this park while I do this video. But Stephen A. Smith he did the same thing to Shannon, right? He threw Shannon under this dude, instead of him going to bat for Molly. Now I understand that it can be difficult to go to bat for people sometimes, right? Especially when you go to bat, you're talking about in business here, or at a job, when you go to bat for somebody and they embarrass you or they do something goofy, now you feel like you losing some lifesavers for yourself in case you get in trouble, right? So I understand that part as well from Stephen A. Smith perspective. However, listen, you don't know what's going on with Molly. Either you do know and you ain't saying nothing, like because you probably be on the phone snitching with the bosses and stuff. So what do Molly? What she? Oh, she ain't worth all that. Nah, she ain't worth all that. What she looking for? Nah, extra $1 million a year. An extra $1 million. Man, look here. Look, man. Let's go ahead and get Molly, man. Look, this is what we're gonna do. Let's go ahead and get Molly. Tell her you give her extra $10,000, and you give her some more vacation. If she can't deal with that, she gotta go. I mean, look, I can hold the show down myself. You know what I'm saying? I look better than her anyway. You know what I'm saying? Most people think I look better than her because I got the Gonzo nose. So that's the arrogance of Stephen A. Smith. You know what I mean? But he clearly was taking shots at Molly. I don't care what he said. He could try to pretend. I clearly said I wasn't talking about Molly. Bro, shut up, bro. Ain't nobody Stephen A. Smith think he's the smartest person in the room. In every room. You're not, bro. We're not kids, fam. We're grown people. We're listening to you talk. All right? You're speculating as to what happened with this girl. You taking digs at her, okay? And talking about she ain't had no leverage and all this type of stuff and negotiating. And I'm talking about this because I see this happening all over the industry. People are ruining themselves. I'm telling you, Stephen A., your day gonna come, bro. Straight up. All this little shady stuff, I'm telling you, you think you sitting in good in the big house, boy. You think you sitting in good with the big house. You know what I'm saying? That man did that. I'm talking about this man think he get all this behind kissing he be doing to his bosses. My boss is Steve such and such. Go, Car. What you doing? My boss is Steve such and such. My boss is Michael this and that. My boss is this. Like, bro, I ain't never in my life seen anyone on the planet Earth brag so much about having bosses. I never seen this before. Never. We all know somebody got somebody to answer to. We get that part. And then he take a shot at YouTubers talking about even if you get your own podcast, right? So he probably taking another jab at Marley. But he said even if you got YouTube, you got to answer to YouTube. YouTube, they can take away your videos. They can take it down whenever they want to. And you got to be able to make YouTube money so that you can get some of it, right? So this dude is obsessed. I'm telling you, man. He is obsessed, and I mean obsessed with like how close he is to bosses and all this type of stuff. This is the Sergeant Waters, man. Y'all ever seen that movie, A Soldier Story? I got it right here in my car. That's my favorite movie. But a movie called A Soldier Story came out in late 80s. Denzel Washington, David Alan Grier, Robert Townsend, Adolph Caesar. One of the best movies ever, period. But anyway, Adolph Caesar's character, Sergeant Waters, is Stephen A. Smith. I'm talking about, man, this man, he had his vision as to what the black community should be doing and how the black community should be acting in order to achieve, liberation or respect for our race. And so there were different perspectives. You had some people feeling like we need to be proud of black folks and we need to do this and do that. And then you had people like Sergeant Waters who felt like we need to act more like white folks to get the respect of white folks. We need to talk like this here and do that's how Sergeant Waters felt. And it's a lot of people like that in our community. Stephen A. Smith is one of them. You know what I'm saying? And Stephen A. Smith, he goes out of his way to find out what's going on with other brothers and sisters, and then tries to be a buffer in between you getting your money or your relationship with the so-called boss, your relationship with massa. He wants to be the buffer between you and massa, and that gives him power. You understand? And just like a priest on earth. You know what I'm saying? So you can't talk to God by yourself. No, you can't do that. No, that's too much power for you to have. You need to talk to me first, and I'll relay the message to the big man because, see, I know him personally. No, you can't know him. You know what I'm saying? It's ridiculous. But anyway, that's Stephen A. Smith, man. So y'all let me know what y'all think. 78 Sports TV. Salute to the mighty LDPC. Smash that like button, share the video. I'm up out of here. Deuces.